Hello, beautiful seekers. Welcome back to my channel. This is Clarity 1129, and I am back with a pick a card reading. It's been a while, I think, since the last one. I've been saying that for every single reading for the last 2-3 readings at least, I think. But it feels that way. Well, today's reading is a very interesting one. It is a reading. The spread is by Biddy Tarot actually. I found it a very interesting reading and I tried it on myself and it was beautiful. Actually, the topic itself is so beautiful that it's going to touch your heart, because that's exactly what this reading is about. It is about what does your heart want and need. This has got to do with what you really want from deep down inside of you, whether you say it to people or not, or there's sometimes you feel a lot of emotion but you don't know how to express it. And this, it's also about how to connect with somebody else. How can you pour your love to yourself as well as to someone in your life and to all the people around you in general. All right, so this is what this reading is about. It's a beautiful reading. I have pre-shuffled the cards to save time, because I have to do all the September readings as well after this, so I need to conserve energy for that. All right, so without delay, let's just have a look at the piles before us. As you can see, there are 4 piles. Pile number 1 is the Morgan Greer Tarot, or this silver flower. Pile number 2 is the Ethereal Visions Tarot, or the pink flower. Pile number 3 is the Original Rider-Waite, or the golden flower. Is it visible? And pile number 4 is the Cat Tarot with the blue flower. Take a moment, relax, take a deep breath, relax, and whichever pile you're instinctively drawn to, that is your pile. If you're drawn to more than one, you can always check it out. At no time will you force fit any reading for yourself. These are general readings, may not resonate with everybody. They're also timeless, and you're meant to see it as and when you stumble upon it. So let's begin with pile number 1. Those who chose the Morgan Greer Tarot or the silver flower. I actually got it on some confectionery and I found them pretty, so that's why I'm using it. Alright, let's lay down your cards first. We begin with the 5 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups in reverse, the 8 of Swords, the Emperor, the 5 of Swords, and the 3 of Pentacles. All right, it's pretty warm here. Oh, the AC is on the lowest and I'm still sweating. Have all the cards come in? Yes, they have. All right, pile number 1. This card talks about how you make others feel loved and appreciated. And just look at this card, take a close look at this card. Look at this person comforting this other person. In this case, they're both in a bad place and they're comforting each other. But what this card tells me is that you're a very warm and compassionate person. All my pile number 1s. You understand, you are empaths, and you understand when a person's not having a nice day, or a person's having a hard time. You're very patient. You give them your shoulder to cry on if required. You listen to them patiently, and you always have this comforting touch about you. There's something, either what you say or how generally you make them feel comfortable, that they can pour their heart out to you, and this is the way you show your love and your appreciation. You help them see the good in themselves. Usually when people are going through a low time, they tend to focus only on their negative traits and everything that's not gone down well in their lives, and there is a tendency to blame oneself and be really harsh to oneself. And you realize that perhaps you've had a bad time yourself in the past, but you've learned from that and you are very empathetic towards people, and so you're able to help them see how special they are. And this is such a beautiful quality, pile number 1. And how do you need to be loved most right now? And you've got the 10 of Cups in reverse. Now 10 of Cups upright is a card of complete fulfillment, the happy family. And right now it's possible that you don't feel that way, and this is what you crave. So those who've chosen pile number 1, please give me a moment. I was reaching out for my handkerchief. I am actually dripping. I'm feeling really warm. So yes, so pile number 1, right now you need that comfort of family. Maybe some of you are youngsters listening to this who are far away from home, though during this pandemic I don't know how many places are open for you to be away from home, but it could be possible that you're away from your family, your work has taken you to another place, or you're studying elsewhere. Basically you are missing that family setup right now, and this is how you want to be loved the most. You want to feel that comfort of your parents or your husband or your children, whichever way. For each person the situation will be different, but you are actually missing the warmth and the cozy comfort of a family. What should you do to be able to open your heart out to others? And you get the 8 of Swords. Now 8 of Swords is the card of self-limiting beliefs. All right, Swords is all about thought. There is no it's not as though this girl is physically bound, though they've depicted it like that. They're trying to tell you that her thoughts have bound her like that, and she is free to change her thought and free herself from this captivity, because she's made herself captive. She's captive to her thought, to her negative thinking. And if you actually open out your heart to others, if you just take that step, and instead of what I can get from here is that in your mind you feel that if you say such a thing, or if you reach out to people, people will see you for who you are and they may not like you. And these are things that are happening in your head. And this is so far from the truth. This is only your imagination, your negative thinking. This is not the truth, pile number 1. And if you actually open out your heart to others and let people in, you're going to find that people are actually going to love you. This is the quality that you possess. You are so comforting, you're so wonderful, and people come to you when they're really down and out because you have something to share. And if you show your true self to people, if you let your vulnerable side be seen, you are going to be able to draw more people to you, because as it is, you're such a beautiful soul, and the love that you're looking for will come to you in ways that you can't even begin to imagine. All right. And how are you to bring your walls down? And you get the Emperor. Now this is the energy that you are in, pile number 1. A moment please. People look at you as the Emperor. All right. And that is why they find that despite being the Emperor, you can be so you have so much of empathy for people. You actually, it is something which is commendable. They see you like this. They see you as someone who's got it all. There's there is nothing that you need. You have more than people see you as fortunate, they see you as abundant, they see you as authoritative, you've got everything under control. And this may not, and they don't see that this is what's happening inside, that you feel that nobody wants you, or you feel that they may not appreciate you, but actually this is how they view you. It's because you've got your walls up and you're showing everyone that everything is fine. They see you as the emperor. They say this person doesn't need pile number one. Oh, they're self-sufficient. They've got it all. They are one of those fortunate people who got everything, and that's why they're able to, despite having so much, they're still humble. So that they appreciate. But when they come to know that you also have your insecurities, you also have, the need to be loved, then they will come to you. Right now, people are not coming to you because they feel that you don't need them. And that's exactly what's happening right now. And how can you lead by example to show others how you can love? All right. So now people view you as the emperor, but they also see that they can come to you in times of trouble because you help them out. You're very humble and you can understand them. You just have this natural compassion despite being the emperor. But when you let the walls down and let people see that you also have a vulnerable side, you also need love, what you can do when you do that, and they see you how you interact with people, and when you give up the need to always be correct, you give up the need to always have the last word, you give up the need to always need to win every argument, because and you show people that even you have doubts, and you don't come across as smug and that you've got everything under control, and you know what happens with this Five of Swords is a person who wins at all costs. And at the end of the day, on the surface, people see this person as perhaps who's won this battle. But this person is never happy, because this kind of victory is not a victory which gives you happiness. It may satisfy your ego at that particular point of time, but it drains you from within. It doesn't give you that happiness. And when you are the larger person in any kind of situation, if there are little petty arguments around you, and if they find that you actually don't really care about coming correct in everybody's eyes, you don't want to always be victorious, and you allow people to see that vulnerable side in you, they will actually realize that it's not as though you are somebody who's way above them, who's had no struggle, who's reached to where he is because everything has been absolutely hunky-dory. No, they realize that you're very real, that you've got there because you've had trials and tribulations. You have had arguments in the past where you've probably lost, and now you understand that being the bigger person is the only way out. That's the best way to be. That's the only way you can actually, when you're being the larger person in an argument, you actually benefit from it yourself. Not only do people respect you for your stand, you are at peace within. Because it takes a very mature person to be able to, rise above petty arguments. And it's because they're comfortable in their own skin. So when people view you like that, you inspire them. They want to be like you. They say, this person has got so much. This person is in such a comfortable space. And yet this person is so compassionate. And this person is mature enough, to be the larger person. And yet this person allows us in. So then you become the ideal person for them to want to follow. And they realize that, they have the power to also reach to that place where you are. And then they open their hearts to you. And they realize that though you're the emperor, and they see you as so fortunate, they understand that even you need to be loved. And they want to be like you. And that's how you inspire people. And that's how you get people close to you. And what happens when you inspire this sort of love around you? When you inspire this kind of love around you, you find you're able to build something beautiful. If your entire life you may be extremely capable, very talented, you may have resources around you, but if you're going to be in an environment where there is no love, when people are just doing it because okay, they're getting paid, and that the entire atmosphere isn't one of love and camaraderie, it's just because they've got to do it. It can be any setup. If you are working with people, and we are not islands, right? So we have to interact with someone or the other during our entire course of life, no matter what area of life we are in. Even if we are working at home, there are people we come across every single day, all right, and many hours in a day, in fact. And if there is love flowing, if there is this healthy respect, this admiration, this love, working becomes so much easier, productivity becomes so much better. All right, pile number one, and this is what you're being asked to realize, that allow people to see your struggle, allow them to know that you also need love. And just by being who you are and allowing people to see you, the real you, you will find that you inspire people to love. And they see your compassionate nature, and they know that all this compassion has come because you have had your share of struggles too, and that you're a very real person, and they can show you their love as well. All right, this is a beautiful reading, pile number one, and I hope it resonated with you. Allow people in, they're waiting to come in. All right, so that's all I have for you, pile number one. And now we come to pile number two, those who chose the Ethereal Visions Tarot or this pink flower. Here is your reading. I'll lay down the cards first. We begin with the beautiful High Priestess. Strength, wow. The Devil. 3 major arcana, wow. 7 of Swords. Six of Cups. And the Hierophant. Wow, this is beautiful. How do you make others feel loved and appreciated? Pile number two. Well, those of you who've chosen this pile, you are highly intuitive people. You may be claircognizant or clairsentient. You just pick people's energies up. You just know what they're feeling. You're very, very sensitive. You understand if someone's not feeling okay. And they don't have to tell you. They don't have to pour their heart out to you. You just know. And when you sense this, accordingly, you mold yourself when you're talking to them. You're very kind. You're very compassionate. And like for example, if someone's had a bad day and they've just ruffled a few feathers here and there, for all you know, it's their own fault, or it needn't be. But whichever way they are, they're coming in, say, that kind of agitated mood, or if they are, they're just sad about something, or they've just missed an opportunity and they're feeling silly. You can just pick that up, and you know exactly what to say. And at other times you don't say anything because you get to know that this person wants to be left alone. You just seem to know what they want at that time, and you do it without being asked, without being told, without anyone even giving you the slightest hint, because you pick up on energies. And this is how, and this is why you might be finding it, people flock to you, especially when they're not feeling okay, because it's more than a kind word. It's instinctive. You just know, and you make people comfortable. So you'll find a lot of people just are around you just because of the energy you exude. All right, and this is because you can pick up their energies and you mold yourself accordingly so that they may be pacified, if that is the word to use. All right, so this is a beautiful gift, and it's a major arcana. This is a wonderful gift that you possess, pile number 2. And how do you need to be loved? Now, this is how you are. You are this beautiful high priestess who knows it all and who knows. But how do people get to know who you are, and how do you want to be loved? Now, what I sense from this pile number 2 is those who've chosen pile number 2, you're very strong people. You're very strong. Your inner strength is beyond measure. You're not the kind of person who's going to tell people their problems. You're not the kind of person who's going to, break down in front of somebody else. Because you can pick up people's energies, sometimes you hope that people would pick up your energies when you're not feeling too good, and they can, respond to you the way you respond to others. And this is what you miss, because most people around you, they come to take your energy. I'm not saying that they're energy vampires, but the fact is they feel good with you because you can understand them, and you are looking out for somebody who can share that with you, who has the same strength and who has the ability to understand what you are going through without you having to say it. And you want the same, what you extend to everybody, you want at least somebody to extend that same thing to you. And this happens a lot with people with very strong personalities. They may be very kind and compassionate, but even in the previous pile, there was in that the person wasn't instinctive, but the person looked as though they had the emperor energy. They looked as though they had it all, but they were kind and compassionate in the sense that people would come and say things to them. They could come and speak out to them. In your case, it's different. They don't have to tell you anything. You just know. It is such a God's gift. You in fact, people with pile number 2 would be spiritually awakened, whether in the sense that you are the pile that is likely to be tarot readers, or get into astrology, or even psychology for that matter, or into any healing profession, because you just know when there's something amiss, and you know exactly what to do to comfort them, and you want the same in return, because you just don't feel comfortable asking someone for help, or letting someone letting your troubles be known to someone because you've said it. But deep down there is this desire to meet that somebody, or have at least a few people who can just instinctively pick on what you are feeling. All right? And you will find them, pile number 2. You will. But to be able to find them, see, not everyone was going to be gifted in the way that you are. All right? There may be very strong people. There'll be people who have been through a lot in their lives, and they can recognize another strong person. One person can always, if a person's gone through a lot, and if they are not the kind who speaks to someone else, they generally can appreciate someone else who is the same way. But not everyone will have that intuition, a very strong intuition. Though we are all intuitive beings, not everyone is in touch with it. So you, at some points of time, when you come across stronger people who may or may not be intuitive, it's all right to open up a bit. And if you open up a bit, you would find with this devil card here, the devil card talks about addictions, it can talk about codependency, but it can also talk about someone who's mastered themselves, who's mastered all these things. Basically, it is Saturn energy. It is the energy of people get scared when they see the devil card, because but in this particular scenario, we are asking, if you opened out to people, how would you benefit? Or what might you experience? You'd actually experience a lot of joy. This devil energy can also be about having a good time. All right? because as we know about Saturn, is they're hard taskmasters, and you as it is are extremely strong people, and you've been through a lot yourself. So if but Saturn is also known that, if you do your bit and you worked hard, they'll always leave you a gift. I've done a reading for Saturn retrograde some time ago, and it talks about the same thing. So in this scenario, what I'm picking up is that when you decide to be vulnerable, not always, but when you're really down and when you need it, it's all right. There will be somebody who can understand you, who may not be as intuitive as you are, but who can understand you. And if you actually have that, it takes a lot of strength to be able to open up to people, to let them see your heart, to let them see your vulnerability. That is also a kind of strength, to not bottle everything up inside of you. So if you allow someone, you don't have to put everything you feel on social media. You don't have to write about it everywhere. But if you can actually tell someone about how you're feeling, you will find that sometimes this might lead you to having a great time as well, in the sense that you could have a good laugh over it. If, when you're telling your experience, maybe the other person says something, and maybe at the end of it you're having a great laugh over this whole situation, and you feel a lot lighter. And this is what you're being asked to do. All right. And how can you gently bring the walls down around you, so that you can receive love from others easily? And you get the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is a card of deception. It's also a card of wearing masks, and this is exactly what you're doing. You are instinctively the High Priestess, and so people see you as mysterious. On top of that, you have this cloak, which you possibly have this stoic demeanor, and I think the cards are visible, right? So I don't have to do anything. Yes, electricity is just gone off. So yeah, so you've got to let that mask off. You've got to let people see what you're feeling, what you're thinking. It's not as though you have to go and cry about every little thing that goes wrong in your life, but sometimes when you find that someone's being nasty, and there's just so much that one can take, and you don't really have to take nonsense from anyone. If you don't like something, and if you say so, there's nothing wrong in that. But if you keep having this mask on that, which says that you're unaffected by anything that's going around you, then you find that, people won't be able to connect with you, because then it's almost as though you become robotic, right? When nothing affects you. So you're being asked to gently you may not be comfortable to change overnight. No one's asking you to change your personality either. But there should be a few people around you who can see the real you. It makes your life a lot easier, pile number 2. All right? And you must try this out. Take that mask off for some time. Let the people see who you really are, because you're beautiful. No one's going to take away your intuition from you. No one can take away your inner strength from you. Your struggles are your own. What you've learned from them are your own. But let people see the real you. All right? And how can you lead by example, so that people are inspired by you to love? And you get the beautiful Six of Cups. This Six of Cups is about, it's described as the soulmate card, but it's about something that you've done when you were little, which brought you a lot of joy. Maybe if you start doing that same thing again, you can bring your inner child out, and that can actually open your heart out to everybody. And when people see you in that new light, they'll get inspired to do the same. This is look at these two. Maybe there was somebody in your past, someone whom you connected with. It could be a male friend, female friend, does not matter. Gender does not matter here. And it doesn't matter if it's a romantic, been a romantic a connection or just a friendship or whatever it is, but there's someone from your past who actually brings this innocence in you, which makes you very happy doing little things from your childhood. And just think about it, and maybe if you can pursue that or bring that, start healing your inner child so that that innocence comes out. We all have a child in us somewhere waiting to come out, that playfulness, it's there. But in whatever experiences we have in our day-to-day life, especially as we start growing older, our responsibilities are so much more, we suppress this playfulness of ours. Bring it out. If you bring that out a little more, people will not find you so distant from them, and this will also inspire them to be a little more open with you. And when you actually allow people to come in, and when you allow the steady flow of love in your life, because you are allowed, it's not only that you pick up on people and help them out, but you have a lot of people who understand you as well. And if you let that playfulness show in your work, wherever you are, your work atmosphere, your home atmosphere, wherever, if you would you loosen up a bit and let people see your happy side as well, what you're going to do is you're going to learn a lot of major lessons in your life. And this is possibly going to take you further on your spiritual path with this Hierophant here. Okay? And they are soulmates. Alright, so it's possible that when you let your playfulness out, you will actually find that person who compliments you, who's as intuitive as you are, who can pick up on your energy. So you're being asked to bring that playfulness out and stop being so serious, and stop expecting people to be intuitive just because you are. Alright, pile number 2, that's all I have for you. This is a beautiful reading, and you've got 4 major arcanas here. So it is time for you to bring that mask off, take this mask off, and have some fun. Have some fun. Let that playfulness come out, pile number 2. And you're going to meet your soulmate thereafter. Someone who understands you, who's going to be as intuitive as you, who can pick up on your energies, so that thereafter you'll have someone who understands you just like you understand others. Alright? So with that, we come to pile number 3. Those who chose the original Rider-Waite or this gold flower. Here is your reading. I shall lay down the cards before you. We begin with the 10 of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the 5 of Swords, the 8 of Swords, had to be, the Knight of Swords, and the 6 of Pentacles. You know why I said had to be, pile number 3? Because before, when I was shuffling these cards and I put them down, and I just thought to myself that pile number 3 is going to be my pile. And when I see the 10 of Swords, I know it's my pile. Whenever I have ever chosen a pile anywhere, on any reading, I always get the 10 of Swords. How wonderful is that? Anyway, so let's get to your reading. How do you make others feel loved and appreciated? And you get the beautiful 10 of Swords. Oh. You are that ray of hope, that light in people's lives when they are going through their darkest hour. Alright, pile number 3. You may find on the normal course of your life, when things are hunky-dory, you may find that you're all alone and you don't have too many friends. And that you might find that people actually come to you only when they are down and out. They come to you when they are feeling hopeless. They come to you when they need your positive energy, because you make people, you help them come out of their despair. No matter how down and out they're feeling, you say some things, you're able to bring them out without judging them for whatever they've done. And people who are in this 10 of swords energy could be people who have been betrayed by people, could be people who themselves haven't been very noble in their dealings with people. They could be people who've gone through different kinds of things, some good, some bad, some their own fault, some somebody else's fault, but they are able to come and tell you, pile number 3, because they don't find judgment. They feel that they can talk to you about anything under the sun because you won't judge them. And this is beautiful, pile number 3. This is beautiful because you yourself have had enough heartbreak, and so you understand people, and you know that everybody has a shadow side, and that doesn't scare you. It just doesn't scare you. So that is such a, tells me how strong you are, how compassionate you are. You may be light workers and empaths, pile number 3. This is beautiful. There is a chance that you yourself feel very lonely, but people know that you are the person to go to when there seems to be no hope. And what do you need? How do you want to be loved, pile number 3? Give me a minute, please. The electricity is gone, and we don't, the backup has come back, but the ACs don't work, and I've got the fans off so that it doesn't pick up for the recordings. I am feeling really, really warm. Well, pile number 3s, how would you like to be loved? And you get the Page of Pentacles. Pile number 3s, I feel you are waiting for some sort of communication. Maybe your love language is that of, giving and receiving gifts, or giving and receiving something solid. A gift doesn't necessarily mean a physical thing. It could be a gift of your time or somebody's time. But you want something solid, when you need to feel loved, you need someone to actually sit with you for some time, ask you what you want, and take care of you in that way. All right, it's not about just giving you, lending a ear to you. No, because in all likelihood you'll manage that on your own. You're pretty resilient. But you need something solid. And what I'm picking up, pile number 3, is that you're waiting for some sort of message. You need people to think of you. Yes, this is what I think it is. Yes, this is what I'm picking up. That you want people to think of you when they're not in any problem. You want them to think of you for you. Usually people think of you and come to you when they want something from you. And you want people to come to you, for who you are, for spending time with you, asking you how you are. And this is where you are at this time. If you opened up your heart to others some more, what would you experience, pile number 3? You might be coming across people who are very smug, who tend to get away with saying anything to you. You seem to be the kind of person who's been through so much of heartache and who's been through so many challenges in their life that you're resilient. And if someone comes and says something nasty to you, you're possibly the kind of person who'll let them get away with it with a smile, and you'll actually be hurting inside, but you'll just brush it aside, saying that is just a small thing, it's all right, that won't hurt me. But these little things do hurt you. But it's because you have this demeanor, wherein you just let them get away with it, and you never snub anybody when they are, um, say, being obnoxious, if I may use the word. Because there are times where people do say anything, they can make a joke at your expense, or they say anything nasty to you and get away with it. And if you repeatedly don't stand up for yourself because you feel that, oh, they're just immature, you say that in your mind and you just move on. But if it wasn't affecting you, it's fine. But if it is affecting you, pile number 3, then you're being asked to let people know how you really think, how you really feel. If you let people see your heart some more, maybe that would stop. Because right now, when people get used to making those kind of remarks with a certain person who's not showing them their place, they take more and more liberties. They'll start pushing your boundaries. Don't let people push your boundaries to a point where you have a breakdown, and you suddenly burst. Just let them know that, all right, this much is enough. And that just because I'm quiet, it does not mean that I have no boundaries. Please set your boundaries. And that's possible if you let people know that you are also vulnerable, which is something you don't seem to do. You just keep, it's something like someone comes and tells you how terrible they are feeling, and you're going to tell them, you keep telling them, comforting them and giving them hope, and at the end of it they say, oh yeah, right, you've got nothing to worry about, everything's fine for you, or they say something nasty to you and they walk off, and then you're just wondering that you've been very nice to somebody, and why would they say such a thing to you? And then you just laugh it off with maybe a one-liner or a small joke or something like that, because you feel that, okay, this person must have said it because this person's going through so much. And over a period of time, you'll find that everyone who's coming to you deals with you that way, and that's because you don't have your boundaries in place. So let people know how you feel. Let people know, let them see that you are affected by certain things. Yes, it's not as though you're going to have sleepless nights over what they said. No, you will carry on doing your work. But do let people know your boundaries. All right, let them get to know you well enough. Let them know that you're a strong person, you're a resilient person, but that people can't stop being decent with you just because you're being very decent with them, right? And how can you bring your walls down? And you get the 8 of Swords. I think pile number 1 got this as well. You have to first bring down the walls in your head before you can actually allow love to come into your life. All right. See, you give love and hope to others, but why doesn't it come to you? You are waiting for someone to see you for who you are and love you for who you are and come and check in on you. But for you never tell somebody, even if you have a very, very close friend, you will not going to tell that friend that, how come you never call me up? Why is it that I'm only calling you up? Why is it that you never check up on me? You never let that friend know. How will that friend know that this is what you want? If you always pretend that everything is okay, how do they know you're hurting? How do they know that you want attention? You seem to have everything under control. And when they don't call back, then you get into this energy. Nobody wants me. I'm not good enough. Maybe that's why. And you've got to release this from your head, because these 8 of Swords is all thoughts. These are your thoughts that are binding you. All right? So let people know what you're thinking. And it's all right if you feel that when you let them know, you might come out too strong. It's all right, because you're not used to it for so long. If you come out too strong with this Knight of Swords, that's what I'm picking up. If you say something and it comes out too strong, then what? That's all right. That's a very, very nice thing to do. sometimes saying the truth may hurt, but then people will realize that there are boundaries here and they're not to step on them. Don't you think many times before you speak to somebody else, pile number 3, so that they don't get hurt? So don't you think they should extend the same courtesy to you? They should. And you have to ensure it if they don't, because you owe that to yourself, pile number 3. All right? And when you do that, when you actually assert your boundaries, that all right, you have this large heart and you're there to share your energy with everybody, but if you're feeling low and you say no, not today, it's fine. You owe that to yourself. And when you allow that to happen and people recognize you, get, yes, she's always there for us, but we have to check up on her as well. When we are feeling great in our lives, things are fine, we can still check up on her and find out that she's fine. And we don't just go and say anything we feel like, because she or he, when I speak, I don't realize that I'm using genders. We are all talking about energies here, so it doesn't matter whether it's she or he. It depends on, when I'm talking to you, wherever my eyes are focusing, if it's a woman depicted, I start saying she. If it's a man depicted, I start saying he. But it is not about genders. The reading is for everybody, right? So you just put it to your situation. What I'm trying to say is, if you don't respect your boundaries, who will, pile number 3? And once you actually put your boundaries in place, and one odd time you have to actually, like the Knight of Swords, say it as it is, passionately. This is Aquarius energy. Say it. It might sting, but it's all right. People will get the message. And when you do that, this is what you're going to have in your life. And that's beautiful. And you inspire people to do the same, You get this 6 of Pentacles, which is equal give and take. So then the relationship becomes more balanced. Because if you are only, you're going to be the person who's going to take care of everybody's problem in their darkest hour, and they don't give back to you, then from a healthy relationship, it tends to go into the codependent zone. All right? And this you need to guard against, pile number 3. This is something you really have to think about. In fact, I shall put the link below of one of my blogs which I've written about codependency, and you might as well you might like to check it out if you want to know what exactly I'm talking about when I'm talking about codependency. All right, so please keep your boundaries in place, pile number 3, and then you'll find that there's this beautiful relationships you start forming with people where there is equal love and take. It's not that you are giving and then feeling terrible about it when you're alone, that no one thinks about you in return. All right, so that's all I have for you, pile number 3. You're beautiful people with large hearts, but that love should begin with yourself. All right. And with that, we come to the last pile, those who've chosen the Cat Tarot or this beautiful blue flower. This is your reading. I lay out the cards. You have the 7 of Wands, Death, the 10 of Pentacles, Temperance, the Sun, and the Ace of Pentacles. All right. Pile number 4. How do you make others feel loved and appreciated? And you get the 7 of Wands. Pile number 4. You're, you could be a fire sign. The 7 of Swords is it's about someone who's always on the go, someone who's competitive. And with this energy, how do you make others feel loved and appreciated? You're the kind of person who doesn't let anyone give up. If someone's feeling a little low, their work hasn't gone well, or you've gone to someone's house for dinner and they're not very happy with what they've cooked, or something is not turned out well, you're the kind of person who's going to fill them with so much of enthusiasm. You're going to tell them, oh no, this is quite nice, this is wonderful, if you could do this would be great. And you're full of ideas, and you don't let anyone give up hope, because you always feel there is more that can be done, because that's how you are as a person. You don't give up, and you've got a lot of passion, you've got a lot of energy, and you infuse others with the same energy that you have. It's almost as though just by listening to you speak, people get recharged. And that's a beautiful thing. You're those enthusiastic people who can what do I say? I'm not getting that word which I want. But you've got the hang of it, right? You are the kind of person who will actually, make people feel really good about themselves. All right? I'm sure once the reading is done, I'm going to get that word, and I'm going to wonder why I didn't get it at this time, but I'm just not able to get that word. But you're extremely positive, you're very passionate, and you wouldn't let anyone give up. So people come to you because especially at times, when they feel that there's been a blunder and they don't know what to do, you're the kind of people who will just fill them up with so much of enthusiasm and courage, and they'll go back and they'll actually do a great job of it at the end of it. So you actually make people feel good about themselves and give them hope that all is not lost. And that's beautiful. Actually, I have a friend like this. The first person I thought about when I saw this card was that a friend of mine. If I speak to her within 1 hour, she'll take me from my room and she can make me the president of the country. That's how she is. There are some people like that, and you need them in your life. And you, pile number 4s, you are that person. All right, which is very beautiful. And how would you like to be loved most? And you get the death card. No, you don't want people to kill you. No, what this means is that you would like love that can transform you, just like you. Actually, this is something which is I done a reading about love languages some time ago, and now after we have come to the last pile. This is the 4th pile, and this is exactly what I'm seeing in all the piles, is that how we show love is how we want to receive love, right? It's there. If I give gifts as a way of showing affection, that's how I want affection back. And in this case, you've got this great energy about you that you want someone to, you uplift people when they want it the most. And this is exactly what you're looking for. You want, but you're looking for it in a deeper sense, in the sense that you want love from someone who, in a way that it can deeply transform you. Death is all about transformation. So you want a love so deep that it can actually change your life for the better. You're always wanting to grow, and this is what you want. All right, this is the kind of love you want. You don't want a shallow surface level kind of love and affection. That's not what you're looking for. You're looking for something really deep. You're looking for people who are really deep, who can, who along with your passion for things can take things to a different level altogether. That's what you're looking for, pile number 4. And as it is, what I can pick up from your energy is that you are the kind of person who will open out to others easily. And when you do that, what do you get? You get this beautiful 10 of Pentacles. So, and this is how I feel you already are, pile number 4. Because you open out yourself in front of people, and people see you for, see you as this person who will uplift them, someone who's full of energy. You've already, it's almost like this beautiful sun card that you have out here. You are like a drop of sunshine yourself, and so this brings people to you, this opens opportunities for you, and you're always abundant. All right, this has led you to the 10 of Pentacles. You're always abundant, and you never fall short of opportunity to fill your coffers, you know, because someone with your kind of enthusiasm does extremely well as far as making money is also concerned, because you have what it takes to stay the course, you have what it takes to have great interpersonal relationships, you have what it takes to fill your co-workers with enthusiasm. So it's not just, you make the journey beautiful. It's not just the goal, you make the journey beautiful. And when the journey is beautiful, the goal automatically gives you so much more than you can even imagine. And that's the kind of energy you have, which is very beautiful, pile number 4. And for this entire reading, there's one person who's coming in front of my eyes. All right. How might I gently bring my walls down? Looking at your reading, I don't really think your walls are up, pile number 4. However, there is a tendency we all have when we, you know, when we start opening our hearts out to people around us, chances are that it gets broken every now and then, right? And it's not that you are so enthusiastic because you've never had heartbreak. That's not true. Someone or the other near and dear to you, in some way, shape or form, they would have said something nasty which was not required, which could have hurt you, and inadvertently, without you wanting to do so, you still you know, that extremely energetic, positive, full of life kind of person, but there would be portions of your heart which are shut down because of some experiences that you've had, and you are being asked to be patient. When you bring, you know, consciously say that, all right, I have you know, been so positive all along, and still I get these unnecessary reactions from people. But if you still have the, you know, instead of shutting those people out, if you still kind of be a little patient and realize that not everyone is gifted with this personality that you have. Not everyone is gifted that they come out with so exuberant like you despite their troubles. There are a lot of people who actually get cowed down by their troubles. All right, and when they see you so happy, so enthusiastic, so positive, they might even think that you don't have troubles. So what you're being asked to do at this time is to bring those walls down by showing some more patience to those people who actually come across like, say, wet blankets. All right, so bring a little more balance when you speak to such people. Bring some more patience, because there are some people who will, you know, who can just feel your energy, and they're happy with that they get your energy and they thrive. But there are some people who actually get who get upset with that kind of energy because they don't know how to handle it, because they've seen so much of darkness, they don't know how to handle that energy, and that's why they sometimes, you know, react in negative ways. But you're being asked to be patient and be a little more patient, and bring those walls down patiently in front of those people as well, and let them learn from you. And how will you lead by example? And you're already leading by example, pile number 4. I called you a drop of sunshine, and here's the whole sun. This is how you are. What this card says is, let your light shine bright as it is shining right now. Never let that go down, not for anybody. And when you fuel yourself with all the things that you like, when you are passionate about something and you love yourself, you become this beautiful sun. All right, and people just look at you happy and content, you know, thriving, and you without having to do much. As it is, you speak and you uplift people with your energy, but even just looking at you, just looking at how you are, people get inspired to want to live the best version of themselves. All right, so this is really, really beautiful. And when this happens, when you're in this energy, and when um, you know inspire people to live like this, there's a constant flow of love in your life. And what does that lead to? That leads to Ace of Pentacles and this Ten of Pentacles, which we saw earlier. All right, abundance. You will have more and more opportunity in your life to create more and more abundance just by being who you are, just by shining your light. This is such a beautiful reading. That's all I have for you, pile number 4. It's been a beautiful, beautiful reading. This is the card, the pile for the sunshine spirit. This has been beautiful. Do keep your enthusiasm going, and I'm sure you're going to be, you actually have it in you to be that celebrity, to shine your light, to uplift people with you. Very, very beautiful reading. So that's all I have for you, pile number 4, and that's all I have in this reading today. For those who are with me till now, thank you so much, and I shall meet you shortly with my September predictions for you. Till then, be good, stay safe, bye bye.